Cảm ơn quý vị vẫn đang đồng hành với chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh, và buổi thảo luận ngày hôm nay là trên chủ đề mô hình hợp tác công tư trong lĩnh vực lúa gạo. Gentlemen, welcome back to our final parts of our Smart Money show today. And in the first two parts, we'll have talked about the opportunities and the challenges when Vietnam applied the PPP model in agriculture industry. And as we have discussed, Vietnam's government have deployed the PPP model since 2010, but until now, an official directions or guidelines has been rather vague. So for you, Dr. Isreal, as a representative of a private sector, you have talked about some of the things that you need from the government, but can you, what more do you need from the government of Vietnam?
In terms of overall requirement, I would like to come back to this idea of playing field that was mentioned. I think what is very important, besides good collaboration and aligned objectives in individual partnerships, is that we have a very good playing field for these consortia to act in. And some things that are important here from our perspective are an efficient way to technology access. We still believe that innovation is one of the key levers that will help us improve productivity and quality along the entire value chain. And we still have in several situations the issue that the technology we can bring comes quite late. So sometimes 5, 6 or 7 years after we deploy it in other markets, which has a variety of reasons. Of course, it needs to be closely and carefully regulated, that the government can play a very important role.
Yeah, and the fact that because of the benefits and the risks of the applying the PPP model in agriculture industry in Vietnam has never been properly regulated, so that it makes the investor feel a little bit unsafe. And Dr. Bickel, how do you think about this?
I mean, first of all, let me congratulate the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, honestly saying they have done a very good job and are heading into the right direction. And I was talking about the working groups in the ministry, PPP, about sustainable agriculture. So what needs to be done, in my opinion, is not more regulation, since there are a lot of laws in place about R&D investment, about education, about land holdings, and so on and so forth. So the current legal system would be sufficient. But what would need to be done, in my opinion, is honest assessment of how the PPP has been working, to get out the success stories, to terminate those who were not successful, and to scale up those who were successful and have a very good prospect for the future and for the development of the Vietnamese economy and society.
Thank you. And Dr. Yu, we've talked about the farmers, and we know that the roles and the benefits of farmers are very unclear. It's not mentioned very clear in the relationship, in the three-way relationship of PPP. So what do you think is the role of the government in connecting farmers with the two other partners?
Yeah, in the last few years, I think the farmer livelihood it's not much improved, but in recently, I think those who work in the agriculture, especially in rice, a little bit improved nowadays. I think the government they pay much attention how to improve the poverty, or how to improve the livelihood of the rice farmer. Looking for the production only, we think that the farmer play very important there. They need the good education. They need to know about the quality of the product, the residues. They need to bargain, or they have the power to bargain their product also. I think the farmers need to be well organized in the group or cooperative. I think farmer need to have integrating in order to participate very good in the PPP. I think government is looking to improve this model, in which I think the farmer must be improved in the near future.
And I'd like to hear your take on this, Mr. Velden. According to your experience, what more our government should do to attract, private companies in terms of boosting the competition capacity with other, countries?
I think when we look at Vietnam, agriculture is still very, very high on the agenda of the government. It is still contributing nearly 20% of the GDP of Vietnam. But clearly what we can see over the last year, the contribution of agriculture to the GDP is going down. And that was something the government realized and the government reacted on. We were discussing the government change from quantity more to quality. Also, we saw a lot of work was done changing regulations. I think what we miss, or what we would like to see stronger from a private sector, is clearly the enforcement of the regulations, but also clearly IP, intellectual property protection. But companies also need a safe haven so that the country is really protecting their IPs, and then I think there will be more and more investments coming in future into Vietnam and helping the agriculture to grow further here.
Gentlemen, your opinions are very much appreciated, and I would like to thank you all again for coming here and joining in our program, and I'd like to wish you all success and best health. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thưa quý vị, chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh của chúng tôi đến đây cũng xin được phép khép lại. Cảm ơn quý vị đã dành thời gian theo dõi và xin hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào các chương trình sau.